and then we when you look at us, we just point and smile, and wave at you, and then as soon as you turn around, we go back to calling you horrifically racist shit. Oh, hey guys, welcome to today's episode. So that little bit was actually not about racism. It was actually about the coming togetherness of all races, and how much I don't want that to happen. I would like the races to be separate from each other. And if you ever lived in a predominantly, let's say, one nationality kind of town, you typically don't like it when other people move into your neighborhood. And if I start to see Palisades Park becoming anything but a Koreatown, I'm gonna pop off. I'm gonna say some stuff that will probably, maybe, get me canceled. So, stay in your lane. Okay? Okay?
Dennis,
All right.
What are you talking about?
Stay in your lane, alright? You know? It's, like what Fort Lee is.
I know some non-Asians who live in Pal Park.
They don't count. Anyways, like they're not counted in the census.
Shut the fuck up. Welcome to the Double D experience. Sometimes racist, but apparently always racist.
Always racist.
Jesus.
Always.
I mean, in Dennis's defense, I'm not saying it.
What? What?
I was gonna talk about what I did with my thing.
David was giving in his demo reel to be an ISIS agent.
Yeah.
It wasn't exactly the best costume. Probably a 2 on the costume. 4 on the horrifically racist singing. The singing. Every time a movie seems to go to the Middle East, you always hear the guy go, "Hey," in the back.
Have you ever seen a white woman with Middle Eastern ancestry?
Wait, say that again?
Have you ever met a white woman with Middle Eastern ancestry?
Probably saw like a stock photo or something like of them once. Why?
They are gorgeous. I mean, some Middle Eastern women are already like breathtaking.
Yeah.
But like, I met it was my old Russian friend who I worked with at the mall. She actually had some Middle Eastern ancestry, and then I looked at her eyes and I was like, oh, I see it. I actually see it. That's true. And they were just it was so deep. But that's not what we're here to do today.
Oh.
I worked like 11 fucking hours today. Because I can. And sometimes, before we get into it, sometimes when you work 11 hours and you're making that money, that fucking bank, sometimes you see something cool in one of the many stores that you visit, and you say in your head, fuck it. And then because of the way that your head communicates with the rest of your body, like to, implicate like what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
My mouth then said, fuck it.
Like audibly said fuck it.
Yes. So in my time and tenure as a Nintendo brand ambassador, I done bought myself this.
Ooh.
This is apparently the new Super Mario Bros. Culture Fly box, which I didn't even know existed. I first saw it in a store today.
You're a brand ambassador and you didn't even know that was available? Are you
Shut the
even
fuck up.
a real brand ambassador? Guys, I think David is fake news over here.
Hey.
Going around telling people that, oh, I'm a Nintendo brand ambassador. Doesn't even know what stuff is on their shelf.
Hey,
Wait.
Dennis.
Mario. Yeah?
Dennis.
Yeah?
Shut up. So we're about to do the fucking worst unboxing video ever.
Are we really about... Oh, okay, alright, go on.
Because it's literally not an unboxing video. Y'all don't get to see it, because we don't do our fucking webcams. So here's what's fucking happening.
Oh wow, I already spoiled what was inside of it.
Dude, just fucking Google it! You jackass!
It was on their Amazon. It was on Amazon. So
they have jackass.
They have the whole lineup of stuff that is inside. And
granted, it says so on the back of the box,
but
it's all silhouetted.
But I wish you could have seen, like, because I would like, because I looked at the webcam and I saw my face, and it literally had that look of, oh, because I just realized what I did. Like, I just, by like, I don't know, by instinct, I was like, oh, let's just look up, like, let me look this thing up, because the box looks very cool at the very least. Like, you know, if you guys have picked this up already, there's some goodies in here.
I had the first one actually. That's actually where I got one of the pins that I have on my my very legitimate Nintendo brand label, or not label, fucking lanyard on. This vinyl decal that didn't stick to the inside of my PC, so I wound up having to throw it out. A pint glass, as well as a bunch of other stuff. So. You literally can't blame YouTubers for spoiling anything at this point anymore, because you just fucking Googled the shit. If you start getting that stuff, which, by the way, I'm just saying immediately, like, if y'all think you YouTubers get views off of those, like, Sonic Frontier spoil videos, the second you show up in my feed, I set it to never recommend your channel to me ever again. I hope you all know that. So before we get into any of that legitimate mumbo jumbo and whatever questions I want to fucking ask Dennis, we're about to fucking yakinizu this moyase live.
What?
Cause you know Papa Tonis got that premium shit.
Oh yeah, and I just.
Oh, these pins are sick. Look at these.
I like them. Wait, is there more?
Nice.
Is there more pins like on the other side?
It's just the two. So those two will be going on my label. Boy, I'm so glad we could share this experience with the viewers who are liking it so much. Oh, this is the pillow? Oh, this thing sucks. What the hell? Look at this.
It looks so gray.
It is. It's literally gray.
I don't like that.
It's a gray Goomba. Yeah, we're racist on the show. We don't like the gray Goombas. We like the brown ones.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, the brown ones, they work hard, and they, yeah.
The blue ones are okay. You know, at first, you know, like, it's generational racism with the blue ones. My father hated them, so I hated them for a little while. But, you know, I'm a millennial, so I grew out of it. You know what I mean? It's fine.
The brown ones are also the only ones that will deliver you a panini sandwich on a bike, you know, across the highway.
Yeah, they'll help you out with that. This is fucking sick. This is actually, look at this.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is like,
Bro, this is the worst unboxing fucking ever, man. Like, it's like this whole time, like, people are just gonna be hearing us go, ooh, ah. And, bro,
that's guys, why I'm doing it.
Hey, guys.
It's just a giant fuck you to the audience.
Guys, I'm gonna also tell you this. Like, this is some behind the scenes. I was even proposing to David, like, oh, maybe we should do, like, a live, I don't know, playthrough or whatever of Frontiers. And the whole time, like, we both agreed it was just gonna be, oh, yes. It's like, oh, that's so cool. Fucking Sonic and like, just words every 5 minutes, and just hearing this.
That's a lot of DPS. I'm not gonna lie.
So obviously, we didn't do it. And audio only unboxings are not a thing for a fucking reason. So
Dennis is not talking about doing like a Twitch stream or a YouTube stream of the game, by the way. He's talking about like doing it on an episode of DDE.
Yeah.
Like where you can't fucking see it.
You know, because it's just the greatest of all ideas. It's one of the ideas of all time. You know, just one of the ideas. But
hand wash only, not dishwasher safe. There's a little pint glass. Very nice.
Yeah. So guys, if you want to spoil yourself as to what the fuck David opened, just Google Culture Fly Box.
Whoa, Dennis, look at this throw blanket. Whoa. Whoa. Well, hey guys, welcome to another new episode of the Double D Experience. Remember to double dip on that like button. We got a new unboxing video for you guys today. Joining me is Dennis.
Guys, Guys, I really wish you could see how David looks. He looks as if like the ShamWow guy got sick. Like he got the whole.
You follow me, camera guy?
He looks like Scout with glasses.
Yeah.
Like he looks like Scout from TF2. Like
Tom Jones is my dad.
He looks like he's Red Scout. Honestly, he's Red Scout with the scarf. If like that was a drop,
it's a cosmetic. Yeah,
if it was a cosmetic from fucking TF2.
No, check it out. You know who I actually am? Hold up. I am the spy.
He is the Red Spy.
I just whipped out my butterfly knife in front of Dennis. It's not a real butterfly knife. It's dull as shit. Like, I can't stab somebody with. I probably could if I tried hard enough, but that's all sorts of illegal. So
there's just something like what I thought about just now. It's like, it's one thing you just walking down the street, right?
Yeah.
And some guy like just comes right in front of you and just like whips out a knife, right?
Yeah.
If a dude came up to me and started flourishing his butterfly knife and just started doing tricks and shit, like
just say it.
Yeah,
Dennis, just say it. I know what you're gonna say.
I would just raise my hands up, just be like, bro, just take it, man. And he's just like, and he's gonna be wondering, like, because typically when you see a guy flourishing a knife, the first thing you should do is just obviously run the other direction. But this guy's gonna be wondering, why the fuck is this guy not running? Like, I was expecting a chase. I'm like hopped up on caffeine. I'm ready to run right now after a motherfucker. And this dude just like is rummaging through my pockets. And he just keeps looking at me thinking like, yo, this guy's fucking with me. He must be. And then he finally asks, so, kid, why the fuck aren't you running? Like, what? Like, why aren't you running? Typically, like, if someone sticks you up with a knife, you basically just run the other direction. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. So he's like, why didn't you? Bro, when you whipped out that knife and started doing them tricks, like, I was so thoroughly impressed. I'm like, this guy deserves my money to be stolen. Like, if anything, he deserves my stolen money.
This is the opposite of what I thought you were gonna say. I thought, like, if somebody's doing like butterfly knife tricks in front of you, you'd just be like, wow. That's what I thought you were gonna do. Honestly. But no, that's so cool. You take my money. Take my money, bro.
I mean, to be fair, I always thought those tricks were cool, but then here's the thing. Like, the thing is, David's assessment for what he thought I was going to say is also not incorrect, because to be fair, like, it's like one thing, I guess, seeing it in movies or games, like seeing the butterfly knife tricks, right?
Yeah.
Seeing it in real life, I'm like, bro, you're a fucking loser, man. Like, I don't know what it is. It just seems so much
because it's
cooler.
just an extra step.
Yeah,
if you need a knife to defend yourself, just fucking sheath it out. I mean, the thing is, they actually can be good for self-defense, because the thing is, if you do get good at the butterfly knife tricks, you whip it out so quick, and the reason that they spin like that is to discombobulate, like, your assailant. Like, if you're being, like, assaulted or something like that, because they can't tell what's in your hand fast enough, they can't react to it. And so, like, if you know how to, like, whip out a butterfly knife fast enough, which you can whip these things out crazy fast if you're skilled enough. I'm not even just talking about the trick. I'm just talking about, like, you got it out, done, like that, like, like what I just did there, which none of you could see again. And like, I think the point is to discombobulate it, or the point is to just look like a douchebag. I don't know what the actual logistics are. Yeah. But it's weird, because certain switchblades are totally legal in New Jersey, which can still be weapons, but they're not classified as weapons because they're like survival tools or whatever. Like, they're used to like open stuff. Butterfly knives are actually legal in New Jersey. You just can't carry them. They're not like open legally. Like, you can own one. I can't carry this thing around me and use it to stab somebody or whatever for self-defense. Well, I mean, I guess if it's self-defense, you can't. I'm not a fucking cop or a lawyer or a judge or whatever, but it actually is illegal to own a butterfly knife. It used to not be. I just saw this when I used to do that shitty Jersey Direct job. I saw this in a store I was in, and I was like, oh, do I want to be that guy? Am I going to be that guy? Oh, it looks cool. I kind of want it. And it was only $20, so I was like, not today, David. And I left. And then I came back to that store to still try to sell to that guy, and that time I was like,
give me this.
Give me the knife.
Yeah,
give it to me.
Give it to me.
Give it to me. And now I own a butterfly knife that I use to open culture fly packages that you guys can't really see. I will say I do kind of want to practice with this thing one day because this is a dull knife. Like watch that. Like watch this. Like Dennis, you're about to watch what I'm about to do. Like check this out. Wait, I fucked it up. Hold on. Look at this. I'm about to close it. Ow. You see, like the blade landed on like my friggin' knuckles, but it's completely dull.
Bro, it's also hilarious to think about that. Like, let's say a dude do it that he just practiced for years and he's just like so good at it, like, you know, just doing the tricks, right?
The panties drop for this man.
But here's the thing. When you're practicing anything, right?
Yeah.
Everyone, even a dude that is an expert, everyone's got to remember, even this dude was a noob at one point. Even he had no idea what the fuck he was doing. It's just the same thing when you see like a new guy, like let's say you go to a gym for a while, you see a new guy come in and sometimes he just kind of doesn't know like what he's doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now imagine, right? So this guy, he's an expert. He's fucking done tricks for years. This guy's so good at it. It's like a second, just another extension of himself.
Fucking ambidextrous.
Yeah,
he could do it with both hands
Yeah.
at the same time.
But
That's how good this guy is.
But then, 10 years before, he was literally going, "Ow, fuck!" Like it's just like looking at all the YouTube videos and shit. He was just like hurting himself like over and over again. Like, you know, everyone like has to remember like
His hand looks like it was on the inside of a fucking piranha plant.
Like he bruised, or like, you know, hopefully if the knife was dull, if it was dull, like the guy just bruised his hand.
His hand looks like
day.
he fingered the shit out of his girl while she was on her period. His hand looks like it got caught in multiple different trash compactors. That's how much this guy practiced to get to where he is.
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
I get, yeah, it's subjective.
Probably not. I mean, yeah, it is subjective, honestly. You could be that douchebag at the parties that we've talked about before. We're like, you know, those games where you like lay your hand down, just like tuk 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 again, as if you didn't just let a drunk person fucking stab a knife in between your fingers, and then you got mad at him when he stabbed you. Fucking moron! Like, I mean, you're probably drunk too at the party. I would never let somebody do that to me ever. Like, I don't care how hype it would be. Like, yeah, look at this. Look how big my balls are, babe. Look what I'm about to do at the party. Ah, fuck! Like, no.
Or it's even like
it's not worth it.
Or the guy does it and he does it completely, like he just does it perfectly, right?
Which would be hype as shit. I can't
it
lie.
It would be hype, but then you take your hand off the table and you walk away, and the whole time you're just like you just like stare at your head. And then, you know, the next day your friend's like, "Yo, bro, I remember you like did the whole knife trick, bro. That was so hype." He's like, "Yo, I know, but also I was sweating, man."
Like, don't go to jail, 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 don't go to jail.
Bro, his 7th stab, I low-key had a heart attack. It was like 2 centimeters off of my pinky. Like, holy shit, man. Like, I was starting to regret it after the 2nd stab.
Look, babe, I'm a Resident Evil.
Look, babe, I am the Red Spy.
If you manage to kill them, I assure you they will not like me. But fuck. But I love it. I'm sorry. Yeah.
One
don't. We're not trying to inspire you to go buy a butterfly knife. They might be illegal in your state. I think they're illegal in most. They are illegal in Jersey for some fucking reason. As well as marrying your cousin or some shit. Believe it or not.
Before we move on, I just really wonder though. It's like, how do they determine this shit, right? Like, does New Jersey's, like, I guess, governor and his, I guess, like, staff just all come together and, like, they just, like, you know, whip out the paperwork and it's like, okay, next item on the list, people are having this outcry of whether or not butterfly knives should be considered weapons or not. Like, it probably is like the most arbitrary fucking thing for them. It's just
I don't understand the litigation behind that or what it is.
It's like what, they bring in a weapons expert. It's like, hey, you blow him up, Johnson. like, what do you think you should be considered a weapon? Should butterfly knives be considered a weapon? And this dude's just like, like, the guy looks as if he owns a gun store. Like, everyone's kind of seen one, like, or he, I guess, owns like a shooting range.
Yeah.
And you just kind of look at him and you just go like, oh yeah, this guy shoots. It's like, for sure, this guy shoots. Like, recreationally, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he probably wants to also shoot people. Deep down. And I don't want to... I don't know, because, like, the thing with a real butterfly knife is that, look at this. This is when it's closed.
Yeah.
And again, this is not a real butterfly knife. I mean, it is, but it's not. It's a dull blade. The thing is, it's illegal in a lot of places because it's literally concealable. Like this. It's a tiny concealed weapon. But so would any knife be, I suppose, technically. But the thing is, like, those are harder to conceal. The whole thing is that it's supposed to, like, trick your assailant into, like, not being able to react in time. Like, oh, he has a knife, and then, like, chikung. It's just out, and then, like, you're, like, good. You're good to go to defend yourself or whatever. So, I don't know. Because the thing is, again, it's not legal to walk around with these in Jersey. It's not. Like, I don't take this thing with me anywhere, even though, again, it's a dull blade. I'm not risking getting, fucking arrested or some shit.
And you're avoiding bad areas anyway.
Exactly, yeah. So. And you can own one. But you can own one. I don't know, man. I really don't understand.
I think knife ownership is like almost kind of up there with gun ownership in a way, where it's just kind of like there's so much gray area to kind of consider, because it's like, for one, you can't just be like Mike Myers and just walk around with a fucking kitchen knife.
Yeah, no, you'll get people will have a problem with that. They will not be comfortable around you. But a gun is obviously different, because there are certain knives that are designed like, for cutting or for box opening or for stuff. They weren't designed as weapons. You know what I mean? Like, despite what my counterpart here is saying, guns were designed to kill people. That was the intention of them. So, little different. Plus, guns gotta kill people from far away and in a much more rapid succession. Not mass stabbings don't happen. Really. I mean, they can, but, like,
not likely.
He's not going to get that many people before, someone's like, oh, he's got a knife. Cop comes with gun and long distance away from knife. Listen, I'm a smash caster, all right? Like, I understand, like, zoners can stay away from the brawlers. And they keep their distance so they don't have to worry about the up-close damage. All right, we're done. This stupid topic.
This is stupid, yeah. But moving on. Real quick.
Before we get into Frontiers, you want me to, or if you do want to talk about Frontiers.
I do want to talk about Frontiers.
That's what you wanted to talk about?
But I have to preface it with something, because I think definitely between the two of us, I am definitely ahead of you.
No, you are. I'm gonna play it tonight after this. Yeah. Like, I'll get to the first Titan. Another thing, Dennis, I'm a bit of a completionist, so I should be at the first Titan already. I'm doing everything in the whole.
I know, yeah.
I can't help it.
After I beat the first Titan and I went on to the next island, I was just like, there was like something about my OCD seeing that map not complete that really bugged the shit out of me. So after this, I'm also going to be playing and then going to go work.
You're going to go back to the first Starfall, yeah. Or what's the first island called? I don't remember.
I forget. Like,
super grass, hilly, Greenland.
Breath of the Wild biome.
I mean, it kind of looks like Iceland. Like, real talk. I mean, that might have been like some of the inspiration, like Iceland, not Greenland, which is the actual Iceland.
Couple of stuff about Frontiers, like that. Like, we're gonna like move on to that. A couple of stuff. I did not know that they apparently have a prequel comic about the game on their actual website. It's literally like it's like a couple pages. It's supposed to just kind of talk about, like, I think, like, basically, like, not the origins of like all the creatures and stuff and everything. Like, it was just kind of like just a prelude, or like a little prelude, to like essentially the beginning of the game. So I found that out like literally today. So I was like, oh shit, okay. Like, might look at it later. But okay, now about the game itself. Couple good things. I'm not finished with the game yet at all. But
yeah, neither of us are. Neither of us have finished the game, but we have played it since last week. So this isn't a prequel episode. This is the big enchilada.
And I'm gonna also ask
the big
the big
echidna. The big echidna.
Big echidna. The what do you call it? I'm gonna have to ask the audience a favor. This is probably the first time I've ever asked you guys for anything, but For the love of God.
Besides, liking, commenting, and subscribing.
I mean, they want to do that though.
Every week.
But please don't spoil the game. Please. I am trying so hard to avoid them spoilers. It's so
the story is actually good.
Yeah,
like the dialogue is like, for a Sonic game especially, the dialogue is like very appropriate to the characters. It's well placed. There's actual scenes of like good drama between the characters as well, which I really like. It's intriguing.
And not to mention, there was a couple of lines from the game where they actually like almost made fun of themselves. Like, and it was almost poking fun at the franchise itself. Like, what I think there was like something about like the the Chaos Emeralds and stuff. And then, Sonic was like, "Oh yeah, that's not like the weirdest thing that's happened with these fucking things." And I'm just kind of like, I mean, to be fair, like there is like that self-awareness in the game about like, just the franchise in and of itself. And I thought that was actually like very smart because let's be fair, the people who are playing this game are the ones that actually grew up with this franchise since they were fucking kids.
Yeah, like Amy said something about like how like about the Emerald's behavior and how like they've gone and hidden in altars before, and it's like referencing like one game specifically, but I can't remember exactly what she said. So it's shit like that as like a Super Sonic fan, I was just like, oh, I just really appreciate, they acknowledge the lore. I really I really like that. It's like they're like, we're taking Sonic into the future. This is a whole different thing. This game's really like atmospheric. It's got like this like really like peaceful and mysterious aura to it. But we're still acknowledging where we came from.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like when I play that game, I feel like I'm watching an episode of Lost. Literally, that's what I feel like. I feel like this is an episode of Lost, and I'm playing it. Yeah, that's not a bad critique. It's a good critique. Like the game, as far as we're talking about the story goes, like the game has such a fucking huge aura of. It's sort of like Mario Galaxy in the sense that the game just has like such a quiet sadness to it. That's a good way to describe it. The game has a quiet sadness to it. Like, you feel, you're not alone in the world, but you feel alone and you feel isolated. And, like, there's just the perfect amount of explanation, the perfect amount as to what's going on, to the point where there's not too much explained at you, but there's just such a good air of mystery to it. And it just makes everything just fall together in just, like, such a good way. It's like, it's hard to place. It's like, you play that game, and not gonna lie, beyond thinking about how much you love Sonic as a franchise and how, like, you're so happy they made a good game, that game, when I play Sonic Frontiers, it makes me think about my life. Straight up. Like, just running and, like, looking at the plane and, like, listening to the soundtrack is what helps with that.
Oh,
and, like,
my
the music.
God, yeah.
Literally, it's like a fucking meditation video, but, like, you're playing as Sonic the Hedgehog.
It is like that until you face that first boss.
Yeah, that's the I know what it is. It's like the Titan boss, but like when you fight it as Super Sonic, that's when you get all the emeralds, right?
Bro.
Yeah.
Have you listened to that song yet? You didn't spoil that part for yourself, did you?
Is it the one that plays in the ads? Where he's like,
I'm here! Found a new frontier!
No, it ain't that one.
Not that one? No, it's just a really good boss theme, because I haven't fought the first Titan yet.
Okay.
Again.
The first boss theme is hype as fuck.
I bet.
It's hype as fuck.
Even when I fought the first mini Titan, when the music dropped, I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, the fact that you get to fight these giants as Sonic the Hedgehog and you're like running up their legs and shit. Oh! This fucking game is so cool!
Yeah.
I love it!
And there's just also like a few things that I kind of want to say about it, because I know yesterday I basically said, oh, people comparing this to Breath of the Wild. It's not a Breath of the Wild.
Fuck Link, he can't run that fast.
It's a Breath of the Wild clone. Yeah, Link can't run that fast unless he has this weird fucking motorcycle that is, like, which I'm like, I still, like, when I saw that, like, on the DLC trailer, I was like, I literally, like, rose my eyebrows. I was like, oh, okay. Like, all right. They clearly don't give a shit. So it's like, okay, we'll throw motorcycles in there now.
Square Enix has their blonde swordsman and he rides motorcycles, so why the fuck can't ours? Am I right? Like, I swear to God, that was their logic when they did that.
To be fair, it was cool. So it's like, I don't even
Granted, that game came out 3 years before fucking the Final Fantasy remake did, but,
But it's like, at least in this case, for Sonic Frontiers, as far as like where I would put it like on a score right now, It's definitely below Breath of the Wild. It's nowhere near it, in my opinion. But
As expected.
But at the same time, this really is. And I know people would even be saying, "Oh, that's not fucking saying much." Like, I'm about to say that it's probably the best Sonic game that's come out in a while. And I know people would be saying that, "Oh, well, that's not really saying anything. Sonic just had a fucking huge string of shitty games for the last, like, 3 to 4 years." I'm like, okay, you're not wrong on that either. I'm just saying.
Like, they're kind of wrong, but they are. They aren't
like,
at the same time.
Like, Sonic's had some ups and downs. Let's just say that. And at least as far as this one's definitely on the up side of things. Like, It's not a shitty game by any means. It's definitely, from what I played, like, it's a little rough around the edges, just a little bit, in the sense of this, I guess, is in the category of graphics, but it's not that the game doesn't look pretty. It's the fact that at least the game has a very weird issue when it comes to LOD, in that objects don't even look like they're at a distance. They just pop up right in front of you as you're running. And I've had this happen plenty of times that I was just like, I could overlook it, but at the same time, it's still in the back of my mind. If you know what I mean? Like,
you're talking about like draw distance?
Yeah. So like
things like loading in or whatever.
Yeah. So like platforms, sometimes railings too, even enemies sometimes. Like I've had them literally zoom like right the fuck in as I'm running. And it's not, again, I'm not saying it's like a big fucking issue, because I've tried my very best not to sound like a hypocrite from last week's video. But I'm having a lot of fun with the game that I could ignore it. But at the same time, it's just still in the back of my head. Like, I'm not actively thinking about it, but when it happens, I'm just like, oh, you know, it's just like, like,
that's a good point now that you bring it up, actually. Like, certain things, like, it's funny. It's like the frontiers themselves, I feel like, kind of load in, and you get to, like, the big, like, view of the land, and you can literally see something way further in the distance that you can run to, and it will still be there. Like, it's loaded in. Which is important for a game like this.
Yeah.
Because if that was the case, if, like, things were, like, fucking AOL, like, loading in as he's running, that'd be shitty.
Yeah.
That would be real shitty. But that is not the case. But, it's like the mini stuff. Like, if there's, like, a rail above you that's supposed to be there, what Dennis is saying is that sometimes, even though, like, you're relatively near it, even though the draw distance is all the way loaded in, the rail won't be.
Yeah.
And, I kind of forgot that until you said it.
Yeah.
Because that's how otherwise good the game is, that, you literally sometimes forget and you don't notice it. But, yeah, good point.
The game is, for me, bugs and stuff aside, and again, like, we haven't finished the game yet, but at least as of right now, like, my tentative score is definitely giving it an 8 out of 10.
That's pretty fucking great. I mean,
that's like, I mean, that's good. Like, obviously it's above average and everything. Like, it's I don't know, and just in general, like, if I was to put it in like 10 words or less, it's a solid game that's just a little rough around the edges. Like, I'm having plenty of fun with it, that at least those kind of bugs don't bother me in any way. Like, it doesn't detract my level of fun that I'm having from the game. And at the same time, like, I have more praises for it than actual, like, criticisms, in my opinion, because the music slaps. The calm, like, side of the soundtrack, and then plus when you get into, like, the crazy fucking, like, AMV sounding ass music that they play for some of these boss fights is, like, it just takes you back to, like, all those terrible Sonic AMVs that you saw from, like, 10 years ago. And it's like, I bet you wish you could show all those dudes who made those AMVs what Sonic is using now for music, and they're just basically like, it's like, damn, like, they know you guys so well, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. The
guys who made this game know you so well. And if anything, I think as of where I'm at right now, the game is a huge love letter to the franchise. and to its fans. It's just a huge love letter, I feel. And I said it before, like last week, that I hope to God, like, this is gonna be one of the few times where, like, if a game has a fuck ton of DLC, I will buy all of it. Not like for like, you want this extra health pack and shit like that. No, not like that. But it's like, you bring in the other hedgehogs, like our boy Shadow. I will drop money on that.
Yeah,
pretty
that
quick.
I can see them doing. I remember the DLC for Sonic Forces, they were originally going to charge for it, but then they didn't. They were going to charge like $2 to like play as Super Sonic and go through the levels, which made zero difference to the actual gameplay, considering you could literally just hold X and boost through most of the levels in that game. And then Episode Shadow was literally 3 levels that were literally levels that were already in the game, except you played as Shadow, and then the reward for completing Episode Shadow is that you just got to play as Shadow in all the modern Sonic levels. Which, again, he's a reskin in that game. It's not like he has special abilities or nothing.
Yeah, he doesn't use Chaos Control or anything.
No.
Just literally a Shadow skin on Sonic.
Mm-hmm. So, I could see myself dropping something like that, too. If they ever do make DLC for that shit and make it somehow, like, an interesting story after that, that'd be good. I don't know, man. Like, because for me, it's really, for this game, like, I hate to sound like the fucking fish, like, who was, like, crawling out of the Krusty Krab. Atmosphere! That's what it's about for me, man. That's what this game is about. It's about the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And it hits. Like, literally, I feel like I'm just, like, in, like, some sort of, like, weird modern vaporwave dimension at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like, not that those two things go together, because modern and vaporwave is, a weird anomaly between each other, because it's modern because it's hip, but it's hip because it's not modern. And I don't know, man. The story is one thing. Like, it like takes itself like just the right amount of seriously without taking itself too seriously. Like, it doesn't go like, they could have so easily like
this plot could have been a bastardized version of 06.
Yeah,
and 06 was also pretty. It was already, like, I say bastardized. 06 was already fucking terrible.
Because it was way too overly complicated.
And I almost thought that plot was almost making fun of themselves because of how, like, because they tried to make it sound so serious, but then when someone almost takes themselves a little too seriously, you can't help but laugh at them anyways, because it's like, bro, you're a fucking blue hedgehog. At the end of the day,
yeah, it's like hearing all that come out of these furry little animals.
That's just me, like,
they could have. What I'm saying is, like, you're totally right. You took the words right out of my mouth, because they could have, like, taken themselves so seriously and gone, like, full drama with it and have, like, I don't know, Amy die or something, which we haven't finished the game yet or whatever. But it's just the right amount of desperation. Like, he can talk to, like, his cohorts who are, like, stuck in, like, this digital dimension, and it's like that. It's like he's talking to a ghost, because you see, like, Amy, like, try to, like, pick up the flowers and she can't. And it's like, that alone is, like, just perfect. Like, that's enough to, like, show how she feels. It doesn't go full on, like, dark edgy with it, because they're like, oh, we've taken ourselves too lighthearted in the past. We want to take Sonic into the future, and, like, we really want to set the tone of this game. This game set the tone for Sonic and set the tone for, like, the future of Sonic without going too far in the other direction, which is something Sonic Team has sucked at so bad in the future. Hence, let's, like, talk about the jump from Sonic Heroes, this bright, what is the fucking what goes up must come down. Yeah, my feet don't touch the ground. Yeah, the world's spinning upside down. I'm out of cast without a sound. Like, it went from that to fucking Shadow the Hedgehog. That's a pretty big leap.
Yeah, it's a pretty big tonal shift.
A huge tonal shift. You play Shadow the Hedgehog, it's like literally a 3-way war between these fucking demonic ass fucking aliens, the government and Gun and Eggman. It's like a 3-way war between the 3 of them, and Shadow's like caught in the middle of it, and he says "damn" and all this like edgy ass shit. Huge tonal shift. Sonic Team used to have the tendency to be like, oh, this didn't work. Yeah, and like go complete opposite direction, like, please work. And this game doesn't do that. It takes all the good elements from past Sonic games, blends it together in a perfect way that actually fits with the engine and fits with the tone of the game, and does it in a way where it doesn't go too far in the opposite direction to the point where it's comical or takes itself like too seriously. This game, it's hard to describe it without playing it. It takes itself the perfect amount of seriously.
Yeah.
Like, the dialogue is just perfect. Like, it's dramatic, but it's not overly dramatic because, like Dennis said, it's coming out of the mouth of a blue hedgehog. Like, the dynamics are there, too. It's just great. And, you know, it's stuff that I feel like, you know, like, actually probably they got some inspiration from Forces, actually. Funny enough, you know, as much as I dog on that game, Forces is like one of the only Sonic games where like you're bursting through the levels, and I think they tried to make the level design easy in that game because you're meant to pay attention to the dialogue. Like, there's comms going between the characters 24/7 because they're like at war with Eggman and his troops. So like constant characters are constantly appearing in a bubble, like Star Fox, basically, where like you're listening to the dialogue. But Star Fox actually has like intricate and well-designed gameplay at the same time, where the dialogue is not too distracting and is placed well enough to the point where it's immersive. Not where it's like, oh, you're supposed to pay attention to the dialogue, so let's make the level easy. Just hold this button and you'll get through it, and listen to what the pink Amy Rose girl says. That's what Sonic Forces was like.
And not to mention, Star Fox's lines were also, like as you said, unintrusive, but they were also still memorable enough that you remembered.
Yeah.
Like, some lines from at least, you know, for example, 64.
Yeah, I guess I should be thankful. You all know that. Do a barrel roll. Everybody knows that.
They, like, Thanos would love this game because it achieved something that a lot of people are unable to achieve themselves, which is balance.
That's the weirdest analogy, but I love it. Thanos would love this game.
Thanos would love this game. Everything about it is balanced. It doesn't, again, as David said, it doesn't take itself too seriously, as it shouldn't, because, again, your game, it's about a fucking blue hedgehog that could run really fast. I will not be taking anything that this fucking character says seriously. Like, if Mario was starting to go towards the direction of having Breaking Bad type scripts and have Mario talk like Walter White, I would hate that game with a fucking fiery passion.
Luigi, we need to cook mushrooms.
Like, Bowser like goes over to, like, I don't know, like somebody, like I don't know, maybe Mario goes to Bowser after he gets crippled like Hector Salamanca, and he's like, look at me, Bowser. I want you to look at me.
Last chance to look at me, Bowser. And then like he sees the bomb underneath and he's like, whoa!
So all in all.
Oh, by the way, Dial L for Luigi, the third part came out. I didn't watch it yet, but the third one came out.
Dial L for Luigi.
It's that video you sent me back. Remember, like, Luigi's like the private eye?
Oh!
Yeah, he just released the third one.
This is a while ago.
Yeah. Oh. I didn't watch it yet.
Oh, okay, so going back, I guess, to Frontiers just for a little bit more. Like, because I'm having a lot of fun with the game. I'm having a lot of fun. And I mean, you know, obviously it goes without saying, like, you know, these two idiots that are on their microphones right now, like, won't shut the fuck up about it, you know, so I guess you already gleaned that. But and here's the thing, it's not like that it's even groundbreaking either, because for one, it didn't have to be, you know? Like, I just wanted a good open world Sonic game. And I got that. And I am more than happy with it, honestly. Like, again, you know, I'm not about to go on here and say that it's a fucking perfect game and anyone who ever criticizes it is a fucking loser and a retard. No, like, I'm not saying that. It's just, like, I understand that there are, like, some rough edges of this game. And, you know, hopefully we'll get patched out and stuff. I don't know. I don't even know if the game could even handle all those fucking objects that are on the screen because of, you know, the draw distance issues. But, again, at the same time, I have not had a moment where I was bored playing the game. I was exhausted playing certain bosses, like, and fighting them, because like I did have to retry the first boss.
Yeah.
Almost numerous times because I was a fucking goober and didn't realize Get more rings, dumbass.
Yeah. Which you can upgrade later on as well. It's like... Oh, fuck, I forgot what I was going to say. Never mind. Forget it. It'll come back to me.
And, you know, if for anyone who has the game, there was that new DLC that dropped for the Monster Hunter
Oh, yeah.
collaboration, which I was like... Because I actually saw like a YouTube video of like Sonic wearing all that stuff, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
I bought the Sonic Adventure shoes. I'll just say
I did too.
I bought the Sonic Adventure stuff. I'm sorry. I had to do it. I fucking had to. That game is part of my soul. So
I actually even subscribed to their newsletter to get the Adventure 2 shoes.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah,
oh, by the way, but what I was going to say is that like,
Mm-hmm.
if there's any critiques about it, if you like, y'all are like, oh, I'm excited about open world Sonic, but like, I actually liked, you know, the modern Sonic boost formula in the linear fashion. I liked how it was like reaction-based gameplay and the different paths you could take, and like it was about speed running and timing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to fret because those are still in the game. In fact, those are how you get the emeralds. Actually, the game does have stages that you go into called cyberspace, which are like sort of like meshed up versions of old Sonic levels, which I know you're thinking, oh, like I'm sick of, why are they doing that? Like, no, it works. When you play them, it just works. Like combined with the music, again, it's like very cyberpunk, like vaporwave aesthetic. It's really sick. It just fits Sonic so well. And like you actually you get the fucking emeralds by getting keys, and you get the keys by beating those stages. But you get the keys by beating those stages by actually doing all the pointless objectives that used to exist in the older Sonic games. Like, get the 5 red rings, complete the level with, like, 60 rings at least, or beat the level in under this time. Stuff that you only used to, like, do for bragging rights in older Sonic games, where you no-life them that hard. Now, they actually give you incentive to go for that 100%, which is a beautiful thing. Just to really put into perspective for you guys, the vibe as to how this game goes. They brought back mother yucking Big's fishing. And it works.
I actually did play some of the fishing, and I to be fair, I got low-key kind of addicted just catching all the fish.
Same! They brought Big's fishing back, and this game just has such a peaceful, atmospheric vibe to it that you're not upset that it's there. It's so meta. It's so meta, it's ridiculous. They brought Big the cat back after all these years of the big guy just being gone forever. Was not in Forces, was not in Generations. He wasn't in any of the Sonic games before that. He wasn't in Unleashed. He wasn't even in Shadow the Hedgehog. And that game had like everyone in it. But they brought him back here. And they brought him back here because they knew it was his time to shine.
His redemption arc.
Oh my god, he also doesn't sound like shit anymore either.
Hey,
like
Sonic, you wanna go fishing?
Yeah, like he still sounds like Big, like he sounds like that retard, you know. But now he doesn't. It's like fucking Tropic Thunder. Like he stopped going full retard, and now he's not full retard anymore. Seriously, like he sounds like Big, and he's just like, I don't know, I like fishing here in the lake, but he actually can form coherent sentences now. Like they gave him some depth as a character without just being braggy.
You know what was Big's arc up to
He's
that
more
point?
like Patrick now, rather than just like, just an idiot.
Big, like from, let's say, Adventure 1.
Yeah.
All the way now, right?
Which was obviously like, his biggest adventure. Like he had the whole sect of the game starred him.
You had that whole big app of time, right? So everyone, here's what I'm theorizing that he was doing. Bro's hitting the gym. Bro,
I have to cut you off right now because that's actually bullshit. He looks exactly the same. He is still a fat fuck.
Let me have this. So, went to the gym. He went to the gym.
I won't let you spout your lies.
He went on to do basically what Forrest Gump did in his movie. He got himself a shrimp boat. He went fishing. Made himself a very successful fishing business. Literally, still sounds like a retard. But you could tell that this guy is not, again, full retard. Like, he has some brains behind the shit that he does. He's done very well for himself. And he just decided, you know what? I am just gonna buy this one tract of land with this one tiny ass pond, and somehow I'm gonna throw every fish of the ocean into this fucking pond, even though a lot of those fish are saltwater fish, and they have no reason to be in a freshwater fucking pond to begin with. I caught a fucking marlin in that pond.
Dude.
It makes no... Like, you know he went to Eggman and was just like, hey, can you make fish in this pond? Can you do that? Then Eggman's like, how did you get in here?
Just like Sonic was, because they were in cyberspace. He was like, Big? How the fuck... Literally, how did you get here? He's like, I don't know. Dude, I caught a swordfish in that shit.
That's why. Like
and by the way, another good thing about it is that there's also incentive to do big fishing because you get tokens for it, which you can use to buy like in-game rewards and stuff, and like not like aesthetic stuff, like story stuff, upgradable stuff, like hearts and hearts to like you can buy rings and then like buy skill points to like buy your skill tree a little bit faster. It's all just there. And it's also, big fishing isn't tedious like it was in Sonic Adventure. Like in Sonic Adventure, you did like one finicky movement and fucking Froggy, like his mouth fell off the goddamn line. This game, it's not like that. Big fishing is quick and it's efficient. You literally just have to, you throw the line at the right spot, so it doesn't take the fish long. And like within 5 seconds, a fish will like link on if you shoot at the, if you cast the net at cast the line at the right spot. And then all you have to do is like sync up a white line in between the red line that appears. You just press A once and you catch the fish. It's easy. It's not like, this big obnoxious game that it was in Sonic Adventure.
And for anyone who needs like, let's say a comparison, if you've played Fire Emblem Three Houses, and if y'all remember the fishing mini game that they had in that, it's very similar. It's almost a 1-to-1 of that mini game. So
why overcomplicate it? Sonic
exactly.
Team said, why overcomplicate it? Like, just we feel like big would fit the tone of this game. Let's make this simple. Let's not make people hate big fishing again after all these years.
And
simple.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
you know what I mean? Like as a kid, I hated it because like this is lame as fuck. I hate Big's fishing. As an adult, though, I understand and envy Big. His simplicity, his attitude towards life is just simple. He likes to fish, so he fishes.
Literally, there was world-ending events that happened, and he's just over here. Like literally, the world is about to explode, and he would just be in his little pond with all these illegal fish inside this pond.
Like, that he fucking commissioned like a madman to like put in his pond.
Like those fish are genetically altered. They fucking must be, first off, and then second, that like that is not within zoning. Come on. The dude came up to him and was just like, hey, you can't do this. And then Big just gave him a letter, like Ron Swanson style, that says, I do what I want.
Not even that. Big is just so fucking big. He probably just put like his hand on their shoulder and was like, do you feel in charge? It's probably what he actually did, like real talk.
Probably.
I'm happy they brought him back, because honestly, he deserved it after all these years. Well, during the fucking war in Forces, where the fuck was he? What was he doing? Eggman took over the whole fucking world. What happened to Big?
Like, Eggman probably went through, like, the list of all of Sonic's friends, and he just saw Big in that list. It's like, and the computer's like, do you think we should label him as a threat? And Eggman's like, he just shakes his head like, and I think that's fine, computer. I don't think we need to worry about him. It's like, but sir, he's no. Look at him.
It would have made it that much better if like he was the one who saved the day at the end instead of Omega, which is who actually does it in Forces.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Omega's still alive?
Well, that's the whole thing. Is that in Forces you think he's dead?
Oh.
Like the game starts and like Eggman's troops like deactivated him and Tails tried to fix him and he couldn't do it. And he literally shows up at the end of the game and like saves like everybody from like a big blast from Infinite, and he's like alive, and it's like yay. And I'm happy about that. I don't give a Omega's low-key one of my favorite Sonic characters. He's always been one of my favorite Sonic characters. I think he's cool as fuck. Worthless consumer models.
Die, meatbag.
I wish he said that. That would have been cool. That would have been too dark for a kid's game, but like
I don't know. Sonic's already starting to like kind of embrace that like edginess, in my opinion. Like Oh yeah, guys, we're just gonna give like our, I guess, last couple thoughts on here. Like,
Yeah.
I like that at the very least. Like, I think just going off of the music alone, like, Sonic Team is really, at least now that they found the balance, Thanos style, like they found the balance, they are now having
gonna
fun.
fuck it up next game.
No, I at the very least, I don't want to wish for that, but it's
Yeah.
like I hope at the very least, like, now like they're having fun with it.
Yeah.
Like right now, they're having fun with it, and I'm really glad that they are because, again, I didn't play Forces. I never touched that game, and now I think because of David's words on it, I probably never will touch it to begin
I
with.
do want you to sympathize with me on how bad that game is because, Dennis, it's also really short. You can beat it in 4 hours. I mean that. Like, it's a tiny ass game. So, like, as bad as it is, you can power through it.
Even Adventure DX's Sonic story took at least. Actually, no. Well, I've seen people literally speedrun the fuck out of that game.
Sonic can actually go, like, retardedly fast in that game. Like, the way, like, you could spin dash cancel, which is not, I don't think it's something the developers intended. Like, I think it's, like, just a speedrunner's exploit. He can go stupid fast in that shit.
Okay. And so, at the very least, again, guys, we haven't finished the game yet. But for now, tentatively, game is an 8, in my opinion. It's not groundbreaking. It is exhilarating. It isn't perfect, but I love it all the same. If that makes sense. Like, again, it's got its rough edges around it, but I am having fun with it. And I like the game. That's all I need to say on that matter, in my opinion. Like, again, for me, solid 8 out of 10. As of right now, at least. And the music, fucking fire. Like, David, I'm telling you, man. When you get to that first boss and you listen to that fucking track.
Am I gonna become a man again?
You are gonna, yes, you're gonna be like in that scene where Dennis goes up to SpongeBob and Patrick, and he's just like, he rips off their mustaches, and then it's like, they weren't real. It's like, of course they were fake. This is what a real mustache looks like. Like, that movie's still goated. That movie's still goated at this point. It's just so fucking good, that movie.
Is he a mermaid?
But yeah, again, those are my closing thoughts on it.
Yep. I like, dude, picture Breath of the Wild like Dennis says, but like no fast travel. Because you are the fast travel. And I knew that's how it was going to be. Like, it totally fulfilled my expectation in that regard. I'm like, big open world. There's not going to be a need for fast travel because it's like, oh shit, I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. I could just run there. That's so hype. And again, like, the draw distance for like the frontiers is actually really good. You could see something in the distance, be like, I want to run to that. And then you run to it and it's still there. It's weird. It's like the short-term stuff that doesn't load in all the time.
Yeah.
Like at first until you get near it. But even then, like, I haven't had the biggest problem with that. I mean, that's another reason I chose to play it on PC, because I didn't know what it was going to be like on Switch. I hear it runs like butter on Switch, too. It's just, on Switch, it's just frame locked at 30, which is why I chose to not play it on Switch, even though I really wanted to lay in bed and play it, because I'm like, I have a gaming PC. Why do I own it if, like, not for this? You know what I mean? Like, if not for this, like, to just fucking go in and play it at 60, which I'm really happy I did. Plus, the movement in the game, which we didn't even touch on in this episode, is insane.
Fluid. So fluid.
Sonic feels incredible. Like, going from forces to that. Oh, man. Where Sonic just went from 0 to 100 even without boosting. And then in this game, how you can literally toggle his movement to your exact desire. You know, if you want him to accelerate really fast or really slow, you can adjust that slider. You can change the way he turns if you don't like it. I wanted him to accelerate just a little bit faster from the get-go. And so I did. I literally went into the settings and just, like, made him like, speed up a little bit faster. That's it. Because you can do that. They tailored it to everybody, but without throwing everything in a fucking shitty blender that didn't belong together like Sonic Forces did. Incredible. Please buy Frontiers. Don't, like, listen to the Donkey video that he made as fucking parody.
Yeah.
He was literally trying to get
He was
into
taking the piss. He was taking the piss, like, honestly.
The fact that people got that offended by that, it's like, dude, he's being a dick on purpose. Like, he's trying to break the game.
And people forget, this is what his channel's about.
Yeah.
In case you forgot. He makes fun of every game if it deserves to be made fun of. And to be fair, the game does have bugs. So if you have bugs, well, and for his whole channel, he's gonna find him, and he's gonna try to break the game. That's what he's always done from the very beginning.
Break the game, break my mind, break my balls.
And not to mention even like a little bit off topic though, I guess, but it's like this game's also like, I've seen people playing it on their Steam Deck. It looks good.
Yeah, it seems like the kind of game that would run well on Steam Deck. I think the loading in thing has to do with they really didn't want there to be too big of a technical disparity between like the different consoles. So like the PC version I feel like is held back just a little bit, but it still runs like butter and it still looks pretty good. They just didn't want Switch users to feel like too like disparaged.
Yeah, like they were the ugly stepchild that was forgotten.
So like they balanced it out a little more, but like you're probably like thinking that's a bad thing no matter what. If you're like one of those perfectionists who feels like everything should, break your fucking graphics card and melt it like every time you play a fucking game, you goddamn nerd. But like, no, it's really not like that. If anything, it like they struck a good balance with that too, where it's just like we made it like at just the right like good middle of the pack performance and like slightly above average for PC to the point where console users won't feel left out. So yeah.
Yep.
Please play Sonic Frontiers. Great game.
Yes. And
also, please subscribe.
Subscribe. Here's our plugs, guys. Here's our amazing plugs. Here's Nintendo. I was gonna say Nintendo.com. Here's Nintoonist.com. Nintoonist. Here's David's YouTube channel. Where you'll I know you mentioned it last week, but David,
I'll get around to it. Dude.
Yes. I know. But here's the thing. I am waiting. I really am looking forward to it.
I'm gonna fucking say everything I said in this episode.
Yeah, that's fine then. I suggested that. But yeah, guys, you could check us out on Twitter. You could check us out on Instagram. I haven't really posted too much on the Instagram. I'm sorry, but
I posted more on the Instagram as of late.
I will get on that. But also, wherever else you guys are gonna find your podcast, Spotify, Google, Apple, your mom. Just go everywhere. We have it all down there in our links. And also, again, we're not sponsored by Sonic Team. We by no means got any money for this, for the words we said for the game. And again, it's not game of the year, but it didn't have to be.
But Xenoblade 3 might be.
Oh, bro, it's not gonna beat it. It's not gonna beat Elden Ring.
I will cry laughing if that fucking happens. I will lose my shit.
Guys,
you have no idea. Yeah. I will.
So, if you haven't checked the nominations yet for Game of the Year, there's a couple of them that don't really belong, in my opinion. Not to say that they're bad games, but to be fair, compared to some of the heavyweights that are on that fucking list, Elden Ring and Ragnarok, just to name a few. Some look like they're a little lost, if you know what I mean. like Stray. Got nothing against the game. Got nothing against it, but
diversity picks.
Yeah. Damn, I was about to say something terrible. But anyways,
we're done. Hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, blue hedgehogs, not blue balls. Except for when he turns into a blue ball, which is quite often, actually.
I have no words.
Lights off. We'll see you in your dreams. We love you.
Wow. Wicked cool.